Hello, and welcome. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Pink Raven. You can also call me KJ. And today we're merging Alice in Wonderland and Genshin Impact. A while ago, a friend got me into Genshin Impact, and I had the thought of, hey, some of these characters remind me of Alice in Wonderland. So I decided to draw them. I know that the most obvious choice for Alice would probably be the Traveler, because the Traveler is the main character of the game, and I might do a bonus design of Traveler as Alice, but this whole idea started because while my friend was explaining Genshin Impact to me and trying to get me into Genshin Impact, I fell in love with Fischl, and she reminded me so much of Alice that I loved her. So I decided to make Fischl my Alice for my Genshin Impact Alice in Wonderland AU. And I will be keeping mostly to Mondstadt characters so that everyone that Fischl would interact with as Alice would be someone she knows. Because that just makes sense to me. It also narrows the pool a lot, so it's easier for me to pick characters. But yeah, Fischl, she has her own world. She just drowns herself in imagination, creativity, her own just universe, and that reminds me of Alice so much. But to focus more on the design aspect, I wanted to keep it very Fischl. I took inspiration from both of her outfits or skins, as well as inspiration from the classic Disney Alice. I decided not to give Fischl a dress because I've never actually seen Fischl wear a dress. So I couldn't make an apron work. I tried, but an apron design just did not fit this at all, so I gave her a white center panel with the white frillies on the side to try and match like what an apron would look like. Then I gave her the classic Alice black shoes with white socks, and the classic Alice blue as the base color of the dress, but I still wanted it to match Fischl's color scheme. So I gave her the purple gradients at the bottom of her outfit, as well as the purple on the side / back, and a little bit on the bow. That way we still have our electro purple, but still have our classic Alice blue, and I feel like the two work really nicely together and give the dress a nice bit of detail and texture. I decided to go with Fischl's classic hairstyle because I just thought it was absolutely adorable. And then I also added a little bit of Wonderland's like patterns on the center white piece because it did feel a little plain and boring to me. For all of the designs that I will have, I decided to take inspiration from Genshin Impact's drip marketing. And I did just straight up steal the poses from their drip marketing because when I first tried to do this, I struggled with coming up with pose ideas, and I wanted to just focus on the redesign rather than coming up with poses and everything. Just throwing that out there as a disclaimer, this is basically just redos of their designs and I'm just copying the drip marketing. I definitely experimented with how and like what style I wanted to do for this, and I simplified it quite a bit and decided to just stay really simple with all of it, honestly, and just have fun redesigning the characters and have it somewhat match the Genshin Impact style slightly. And ultimately, this is the final Fischl / Alice design that I had, and I feel like it matches the two of them really well. It just really screams Fischl but Alice. I also just wanted to point this out because I'm very proud of it. I redid the background that they normally have, like the Mondstadt background, and added more Wonderland themed things like the rose and the hat and the key and stopwatch instead of the normal symbols in the background. And with just the few finishing details of the white outline and the shadow, that is Fischl as Alice officially done. The next character we're gonna do is Amber as the White Rabbit. This one just makes a lot of sense to me because Amber already has a lot of rabbit motifs with the, I'm blanking on what her little pet is called, plus the headband or bow on the top of her head that honestly just looks like straight up rabbit ears. She is one of the first characters that we meet that leads us into the game, just like how the White Rabbit is one of the first characters that we meet that leads Alice into Wonderland. So it just felt like it fit for me. For Amber's design itself, I honestly I don't think I changed it too much. I mostly matched her main outfit with a few simple changes. Obviously, I changed her color scheme so it's mostly white with red as accents instead of red being her primary color. I elongated her jacket a bit more to match the White Rabbit's jacket that he's always wearing. I also simplified the ears so there's not as many patterns on them, so it just kind of looks more like actual rabbit ears with little, I guess, ear decorations on the tip, and replaced whatever, like the pouch bag thing on her waist with a giant stopwatch because obviously. I also gave her little rabbit-like toes at the end of her boots instead of classic boots. I dabbled with the idea of turning the ends of her hair white as well, but I decided not to. And of course, I gave her the adorable little bunny nose. And then I gave her a bow on her jacket because most White Rabbits I have seen does have the adorable little bow tie. I also changed her gloves to be classic white, like fancy gloves, mainly because I was thinking of the scene when the White Rabbit is yelling at Alice, being like, "Marianne, find my gloves! Marianne, get me my gloves!" So I gave her fancy white gloves. And then of course with the finishing details of the background shadow and white outline, that is Amber as the White Rabbit. I honestly didn't spend as much time on her as I did with the others. I think she's absolutely adorable. The little bunny nose I think suits her face so well. But I didn't really change her design up all too much. It was mostly just a color swap and a few detail changes. Last and certainly not least for this episode, I'm just going to be doing 3 characters per video, is Kaya as the Cheshire Cat. Because this one, honestly, in my opinion, is the most obvious. He's always smiling, he's smirking, he's always up to something, he speaks in half-truths and riddles and answers questions with questions, and he's very Cheshire Cat coded. He's so Cheshire to me. I don't even know how to explain it, but like he is just straight up the Cheshire Cat, only in human form and as a cavalry captain with no cavalry. This poor man, get him his horses. But I took a lot of inspiration from mostly his main outfit and pulled in a few things from his other skin or outfits, such as the open shoulders, and I changed up the, I guess, lack for better term, boob window that he has. I don't know why all of his designs have one, but I stayed true and I gave him one. I also changed a lot of the diamond or star-like shapes that he has to match a more cat motif. I gave him the classic Cheshire Cat smile on his like shoulder or sleeve decorations, and my favorite part, the little paw prints on the bottom of his boots, because I needed to, they're adorable. Other than that, of course, I gave him striped ears and tail that were super fluffy, and I gave him stripes on the fur that he's always wearing on the side, or like on his shoulder. I didn't go too stripey with the outfit itself, but I did try to keep somewhat of a pattern with the dark purple for the top, the black for the waist, gray for the pants, and then back to the dark purple for the boots, and then black for the bottom of the boots to kind of keep that alternating thing going without being too obvious about the stripes. because honestly, I just couldn't figure out how to make stripes look good for this. So his stripes mostly stay in his fur, but I think that's fine for him. I feel like he still screams Cheshire, even though he's not just completely covered in stripes. He's a little bit more elegant, a little bit more subtle. I did spend the most amount of time on Kaya and his design with, I think, a total of 7 hours, compared to Amber, which I think was only 4 hours, if I remember correctly. And that is, of course, according to Clip Studio Paint, which is the program that I use for pretty much all of my art. I did think about giving him just like the classic cat eye slit instead of his normal eyes, but then I kind of realized that he kind of already has the cat eyes with his diamond-shaped pupils, so I just left it alone and kept it the same. And then, of course, with the final details of background, outline, and shadow, this is my final design for Kaya as the Cheshire Cat. So far, I'm having a lot of fun with this, and I have already started on the next batch. If I do commit to this and make a second episode, it will be the Mad Tea Party. So it will be those 3 characters. I'm probably going to continue my pattern of 3 characters per video. But yeah, this is my official as Alice, Amber as the White Rabbit, and Kaya as the Cheshire Cat. I love them all. I feel very proud of their designs. I think they're all so cute. In the meantime, that is all for this video. If you liked it, please like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, press all the buttons, let me know which Genshin Impact characters you think should be which Alice in Wonderland characters. And if you didn't, well, I hope you enjoy whatever you do next. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!